After 34 years working at Paladin Security, Robert Clarmont retired back in May. Robert began working at Paladin in 1987 as one of the company's 5 original employees. During his 34-year tenure, Robert took on a variety of different positions and was still working at the same site he began his career at the time of his retirement. Robert recently sat down with Canadian Security to talk about his career beginnings and his advice for those looking to start their career in security. Robert, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to get to know you and to learn more about your career at Paladin and hear about your retirement plans.
Thank you. Yes.
So, you know what? Let's start out with the basics, Robert. And how about you just tell me a little bit about yourself and what was your role at Paladin and how long were you there for?
Well, I guess we'll start at the very beginning when I was looking for a job. I saw the ad in the paper and in the North Shore News. I was working for someone else and I wanted to get another job that paid a little more money. So I applied and you had to go down to Fiberco. That's where my site was, to apply for the job. And for some odd reason, I'm walking down Pemberton Avenue and I said to myself, you know, if I get this job, I'm going to stay there till I retire. Went there and I applied for the job. The guy said, okay, I got your application. We'll be in touch. So a few days went on. I got a call, go back down to Fiberco for another interview. Went back home again. Got another call a little while later that I had to go to the owner's house for an interview. So I went there, had an interview, went back home again, went on some more. Then he asked me to come back again. And then I went home again and he's come back another interview. And that's where it went. And then I used to bug him once a week for a while. Eventually I got the call and a guy named Dave Yampolsky phoned me and he says, Robert, there's a vacancy at Fiberco. Now one of the regulars quit. Now's your chance. If you want it, be there at Monday morning. And that was October the 7th, 1987 is when I started my first shift of the security guard at Fiberco, because that's the only site that they had at that time.
Yeah. Robert, what advice do you have for any young security professionals who are just starting out, or for your former colleagues at Paladin in terms of continuing their success at the company?
For any new people coming into the business, just make sure that be courteous, be firm, but be courteous, be kind, carry out your duties for the best of your ability, learn, don't be afraid to learn. This is a fast growing industry. You learn things every day. Don't be afraid to learn. Don't be afraid to go out of your way and do that little extra something that the client wants. Go with this attitude. Yes, I can. And you'll go a long way.
Beautifully
Look
said,
at me.
Robert.
I'm a perfect example of that.
You absolutely are. You're definitely the perfect poster child for it.
And you can talk to anyone in that Paladin office that knows me. Anybody in that office that knows who I am will tell you he is one of a kind. Ashley says, he said, your actions speak for itself, Robbie. And everybody at Fiberco did the same thing. They said, your actions speak for itself. There's nothing, they said, there's nothing more to say. You're just one of a kind. People like you are hard to get and hard to find. And we're just happy that you came along and looked after us as well as good as you did for the 34 years that you've been there. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
And that's it. That's just how it was.
Robert, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. You have made such a positive, wonderful impact on not just Paladin, but the security industry as a whole. And I really hope that you take the time that you so deserve in this retirement to just relax and do whatever you so desire.
I hope some of the things that I said during this interview will rub off on other people, other companies, and they can take some of that advice, apply it to their organizations,